Hello, welcome to my crystal collection video part 3 of a 10-part series. Meaning that if you haven't seen part 1, you should probably go and watch that first because I explain how I am going to go about showcasing my crystals. But if you already seen that and, well then welcome back and let's get to it. So I'm going to start with my multicolored grape chalcedony specimen. Now, you'll probably see this out there being referred to as grape agates. However, it's not actually an agate because there's no jasper inclusions. This is just botryoidal chalcedony. So I've previously mentioned what botryoidal is before. Botryoidal is a ball-like structure to a crystal in its growth, and so that's why I'm going to call this grape chalcedony instead of agate, because I want to be consistent with reality of what a material is. So yeah, and the reason obviously why grape, because it looks like little grapes. You can have, like this one, combination of green and purple grape chalcedony, but you can also just get green or purple, and sometimes you can also get them a lot darker and more deep sort of coloring to the specimen. But this one is definitely more pastel, kind of like a tie-dye color. So yeah. Usually this type of chalcedony comes from Indonesia, and this also comes from Indonesia as well. Moving on with my next piece, which is moss agate with lavender druzy medium tower. Usually moss agate is more green and white, the coloring, but sometimes you'll see splashes of other colors melded within, just like this piece where there's a hint of purple throughout, this lavender purple and almost a mauvey kind of purple. So yeah, moss agate's just really interesting to look at the different swirls of patterns I find. And usually you don't get this sort of dip right here with tower carvings, but I thought that was kind of interesting because this stone has a different sort of carving shape to the tower. Now this is an interesting piece here that I'm going to show you. This is a purple sapphire and red garnet with biotite specimen. So yes, sapphire, not blue sapphire, but purple, which is a much more rare form of sapphire, which either comes from Tanzania or Mozambique. That's the areas that only purple sapphire come from. And this specimen is from Mozambique. And although more rare than blue, there are other sapphires that are even rare. There's one from Sri Lanka that's like a pink yellowish color to it, like a mix of colors, and this is definitely rare. I'll show you on screen. I forget the name of it, but yeah, that one's just gorgeous. Extremely rare. So what is sapphire? Sapphire is actually a beryl. So when a sapphire is red, it ceases to be a sapphire, it's a ruby. If it's green, it ceases to be either a ruby or sapphire and is an emerald. All three gems are beryls, just different color beryls. But what's interesting about this piece is that it's not just, sapphire. You've got this sprinkling of red garnet surrounding the sapphires here in this specimen, and the biotite, which is this metallic tan material. And biotite is actually mica. Like how lepidolite is purple mica, biotite is just this tan mica. So yeah, definitely a gorgeous piece in my collection. And then next I have my flower agate with pink amethyst medium flame carving. You'll typically find a lot of agates come with, amethyst or just different quartz, because agates are also a form of quartz, just microcrystalline, which it means micro quartz, essentially. Although when we talk about pink amethyst, that is, it's a little bit more uncommon than your everyday regular purple amethyst. This piece in particular comes from Argentina, and most pink amethyst actually does come from Argentina. I mean, I think you can find it in Uruguay and Brazil, but yeah, not as abundant of a material as, say, regular purple amethyst. But I just really love this piece in particular because this pink amethyst here, I love the color, like the gradient, because you can see the inclusions of that which make it pink amethyst sort of slightly turn more purplish and lavender, because I mean the only difference between pink and purple is the inclusions, right? So it's got this great gradient coloring going on here. This next piece here is my Candy Fluorite Small Tower A. So you'll know what A means if you've seen my previous video, but essentially it's just a way I categorize them depending upon when I obtained them. So A being my first Candy Fluorite Small Tower that I have, and I never actually purchased this. I was gifted it by a friend way back in the day, and I'm talking about like sometime in my late teens. So this is actually, I believe, to be my first crystal ever. And yeah, so it's been here for a while. It's been with me for a while. And yeah, so Candy Fluorite. What is Candy Fluorite? It's just a trade name of fluorite that's been carved and polished, where the color zoning is layered and stacked upon each other and very distinct instead of sort of mixed and blended. So that's basically what is Candy Fluorite. That's essentially it. Yeah. Then I have my apophyllite with peach stilbite growth specimen. Most pieces, and it includes this piece here, comes out of India. You'll also usually find stilbite alongside apophyllite, like you do here. Apophyllite can also come in green. However, the clearish to white is the more common, and it's interesting because the reason why I was drawn to this piece in particular is because it reminded me of a unicorn horn. I don't know, I liked that, and so I was drawn to it. So yeah. And moving on next to my cactus quartz specimen, which comes from South Africa. And that is where most cactus quartz comes from, but it's not limited to that area. This variety of quartz has crystals encrusted by a second generation of smaller crystals grown on the prism faces, which point away from the prism. Often the tips of these first generation crystals remain free, as in here, but it can cover the entire central crystal. I call the ones that do get covered spirit quartz crystals, and it's just a trade name, so it's not a fast and hard rule. You'll also find this being referred to as pineapple quartz, but essentially I just limit it to cactus quartz and spirit quartz when it's fully covered. This one in particular has a light lavender hue to it, but it comes in clear, smoky, and sometimes even yellow due to any inclusions that are present. And that is all I have for you for today. Look out for the next video coming out pretty soon. Bye!